Welcome back to Black Hat 2021, live with Security Weekly. I'm Adrian Sanabria, and also joining me is Mr. Larry Pesci. Hi, Larry.
Howdy, how's it going? Like, this isn't like the DEF CON or the Black Hat that I know. Either way.
Yeah,
like
coming to you live
weird.
from our home offices.
Totally. And it still just looks as big of a disaster, I guess. I don't know.
But actually coming to us live from actual Vegas and Black Hat is Tabatha DiDomenico, product marketer at Security Roots, the company behind the well-known Dradis framework. Welcome to Security Weekly, Tabatha.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm also, in my newfound office at Black Hat, so it's a little tighter than yours.
Yeah, love it. Bringing to us the madness and the mayhem that is trying to find a quiet place to talk, and do a podcast or take a phone call at a big conference.
Yeah, it's been a morning, that's for sure.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you taking the time to hop on. And our topic for today is about spending less time on report writing so you have more time for hacking, specifically using the Dradis framework to accomplish this goal. And as I understand, this is Larry's living this right now. That's part of the reason Larry's with us today is he's in report writing mode right now, right, Larry?
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly the reason why I'm not in studio, to do this, because we've got a show later, because I'm actually taking a break to stop doing a report and do the micro interview with you folks. So yeah, and when I'm done, I'm going to go back to reporting. So
will you be using Dradis to wrap that up?
Actually, I'm at the point where it's the quote the final customization of the report, adding the individual screenshots and all of the sort of the customer focused stuff, but could have conceivably used the tool to build sort of a base of a report and get some of that collaboration done. So
yeah, absolutely. Next engagement, reach out to me. I'll help you out. We'll get it set up, and just slap those screenshots right in there, and it'll make it so much easier when you're ready to generate your report at the end. I mean, yeah, reporting is pretty much everybody's favorite thing to do. I asked yesterday at the Arsenal, who could I get a show of hands of who enjoys reporting, and it was crickets.
Yeah. So Adrian, you and I were chatting before, and you said you want to make your reporting faster. It's due Friday, right? So to that, how long does it take to get started, like getting it set up?
It's actually fairly simple, and it's been bundled with Kali for quite some time. And I think that's probably most folks' first exposure to Dradis is through Kali. I recommend that you use the Git, install it from Git directly, and it really is. There's a couple scripts to get it started, to get it installed, and it comes with some sample information, so you can kind of see the layout of the project, all of the different components that are included in it, all of the findings, where all of your information goes. So when you're ready to actually use the tool on your next engagement, you have a better understanding and a lay of the land of how to get it done.
Great. Yeah, and that brings up a good point, Tabatha. I wanted to ask, Dradis has, and I'm saying that right, Dradis?
It is definitely Dradis. If I had thought this through, I would have pulled up the clip from Battlestar Galactica.
We were talking about that before you joined.
So I have you both watched Battlestar Galactica? If not, I would recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, the new one, right? Not the original.
I won't besmirch the original one, although I did not watch it. I did heavily watch Battlestar Galactica, the reboot. And so that's how I found this job. I was like, Dradis, that's a cool name. What do they do?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I was looking it up just before, and I think it means something like direction. Okay, I've already forgotten. Never mind.
I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm going to lose a point at work because I don't know what the acronym actually stands for. But yeah, it's basically the radar system, and it helps keep everybody on the Battlestar kind of on the same page, which is exactly what the tool does. I mean, everybody, if you're working with other people on your engagement, it makes it easier for you all to keep all of your project and engagement details in the same place. and everybody is aware of what's going on, just like Dradis on the battleship does.
It is a portmanteau of direction, range, and distance.
Thank you.
Dradis.
Thank you for saving me on that one.
Google saved me on that one. Yeah. So, I wanted to ask, so Dradis has had this free community edition for a long time. It's a kind of company that's better known by the name of its product than the actual name of the company. How important is having a freemium offering like that, and how important is the community to that brand?
The community is essentially everything, and we take a lot of the information, the feedback from our community and from even the community edition, not just our paid users, to decide what we're going to work on next and pair that with the direction that we see the industry going and what needs are out there to kind of pick what we're going to develop next. Dradis has been around since 2007, and the founder actually was a pen tester at a high utilization consultancy, and was just really frustrated with all of the tedious tasks involved in, what Larry's going through right now. And so he got frustrated enough that he actually did something, created the tool and used it internally for a long time, and opened it on the open source community. And the feedback from there was overwhelming to the point that he was able to take it full time in 2014, and here we are.
I think high utilization consultancy was the kindest way I've ever heard that put. I too have worked for a high utilization consultancy. We didn't call it that though. It was the burnout shop.
I was going to ask if it was inappropriate for ears to know what you called it, but that sounds safe.
Yeah, no, I love it. I knew exactly what you were going for there, and yeah, it's essential. It's I actually gave a talk a few years ago where I pushed pretty hard on some change in pen testing, because I feel like if you're going to pay a pen tester $20 grand, $50 grand, whatever that engagement costs, how much of it should be writing that report versus doing the actual pen testing? I felt like there's a huge opportunity to do a bunch of automation on the front end, and then a lot of automation on the back end. Making those two portions, which have nothing to do with pen testing directly, really. It's to make more time for the actual pen testing.
I think there's two schools of thought that I sort of think about, and when I talk with our customers, I hear frequently is, you get into pen testing because it's fun to break into stuff, right? You're here in security to defend and break and all of the cool things that you can do with an information system. But at the end of the day, you still have to be able to communicate those results if you want anything done. And one of the biggest frustrations that I witness and I hear from colleagues and friends in the community is it's incredibly frustrating to spend all of that time working to find the vulnerabilities, that what's wrong, only to come back the next year to find that those same issues still exist. And the way that I can see that you can close the gap on that, if you're not responsible for remediation, is to create a well-written, actionable report. And by automating parts of it, it allows you the time to spend to craft the details that count, that speak to the correct audiences. So hopefully the next time you're on that engagement, those changes are fixed. You have to be able to show your work. It's like science fair for hackers. You've got to be able to show your work and put in the final report so people know how you got there.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you want them to fix stuff. So the better the report is, the easier it is to understand. Certainly, hopefully, the better your chance of getting them to actually move on it and fix it, because that report will be used to try and convince other folks that it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how you're going to secure funding. If you're handing that report off to an internal IT team for them to fix and to remediate the issues, they need to be able to, of course, replicate and follow up technically. But in order to get the funding to do that, they have to talk to somebody who is not probably super technical, and really just wants to know why it matters to the business and why they should spend the money and the time and the resources on, securing their business and, fixing these things. So the better off, the more time you can spend on crafting that report for the IT team to be able to take to the C-suite, the better off everybody's going to be.
Larry, any other questions before I go in a different direction here?
No, go different direction it is.
Yeah, so with your marketing background, Tabatha, I'm kind of curious, like how crazy is the cybersecurity industry? You've done marketing in a lot of industries, but clearly, it looks like this one is kind of stuck with you. It looks like you're going after a graduate degree in cybersecurity. What is it about cybersecurity that made you want to, put down some roots here?
You're going to make me tear up. So actually, in 2014, I went to my very first BSides. I was invited by my husband, who's in security, and he'd been saying for a long time, he's like, you should really come. Just check it out. It's not just, networking stuff. It's really fun. I think you'll enjoy it. And I've been technical for a very long time. I actually met my husband working at a very teeny tiny ISP in Florida. So he's like, come on, check it out. And so I walk into B-Sides Orlando, and I was like, these are my people. It felt like coming home. And so that same year, we flew out to Vegas for the first time, went to my very first DEF CON, and I, was working in marketing at that point. So there was no reason for me to have a badge to go to Black Hat or anything. So I decided, well, he's gone over at Black Hat. What am I going to do with my day? So I volunteered for B-Sides Las Vegas. And that was like drinking from the fire hose.
Oh, yeah.
And since then, I've kind of danced around it for a long time. And now, I found this job with security roots working on Dradis, and I love it. And I love talking to our customers and learning from them and, understanding what's going on in this industry. And so, yeah, I want to be able to dig in deeper and, help make people more secure.
Nice. And as a veteran of InfoSec events, what's it like being back at a big event like Black Hat after so long? Is it overwhelming? Are there a ton of people there? Or are there less than you were thinking?
It's overall, Vegas is a lot lighter than I think I was even expecting. They roll up the carpets at 10 o'clock. It's bizarro. But it's nice to be around here. It's nice to actually people again. But it does it's exhausting in a way that I hadn't expected. I'm a very people-y person. I enjoy hanging out with people. I consider myself an extrovert, but it's after being, shuttered up for 18 months, it's a bit overwhelming. But yeah, the conference itself has been fantastic. It's a little lighter than I think everybody was expecting.
Yeah. I imagine it's yet to happen for me yet. I haven't been to a big physical conference yet, but I imagine it's going to be simultaneously relieving and overwhelming, and I'm not sure how those emotions are going to feel at the same time.
Yeah, it's a lot of the same things that you would experience. It's just self-care. I've had to take breaks and step away and just go back to my room for quiet a few times.
Yeah. So I understand you're going to be giving a presentation on Dradis in a couple hours?
Yes, at 1:00. I will be presenting my third arsenal presentation on Dradis. So this one, I feel like I'm just going to nail it because I've had a lot of practice at this point. Nice. Yeah, that'll be fun. At 1:00, I've got stickers. We've got brand new stickers. Our awesome designer, Matt, who does beautiful illustrations for us, as well as works on the UI for the app itself. Created, let's see if I back up if you can see it. There we go. That logo, that kind of a retro, we call it the flying A internally. So I've got those stickers. Hang on, let's make this easier.
Everybody loves stickers.
They look like that.
Nice.
So I've got a stack of stickers. I've got plenty of information on how to use Dradis, how to get set up, what it can do for you. All of the information you would need to take it and give it a run for yourself. And I'll be hanging out this afternoon if anybody wants to track me down and grab some stickers. And if they want to try to get Dradis CE running up on their laptops, I'm happy to help. Amazing. Well, on that note, I think it's a good note to go out on and let you go ahead and go prep for that. And I hope you get to give out lots of stickers and get some people up and running on Dradis. I remember last time I got it up and running, I was up and running in maybe a minute or two. It's pretty. It's pretty straightforward to get set up anymore. So yeah, give it a try. If you've tried Dradis in the past and haven't looked at it in a long time, so much has changed that folks came up to the arsenal yesterday and like, what's this tool? It's like, oh, it's Dradis. And they're like, wow, it looks completely different. So much has changed.
That would be me. That would be me. not there, but it's been a while since I've used it, and it was fantastic then. I can only imagine how much better it is now.
Yeah, give it a look if it's been a while.
It has.
Absolutely. Tabatha, thank you so much for joining us on Security Weekly today.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.